My wife, a famous and powerful woman in the upper class, is known for her strong personality and sharp temper. One day, just because I accidentally glanced at another woman on the street, she got jealous and dragged me home for a long talk. We didn't leave the house for 3 days. When everything finally calmed down, she leaned against me with teary eyes and said softly, "Please don't look at anyone else. Whatever they have, I can give you too. Just don't leave me." I had to promise her again and again before her anger finally faded. From that day on, I never dared to look at anyone else. But later, I told her, "If she helps me, I'll disappear from your world." Those words made her so nervous that she started avoiding everyone, firing all her male assistants, refusing social gatherings, and keeping her distance from others. Until one day, her best friend's younger brother, a carefree young man, appeared. Despite her usual self-control, she found herself drawn to him, and from that moment, everything began to change. In the end, when things went too far, I made a decision. I called my mentor, Professor Chan. "Professor, I've made up my mind. I'll join your pharmaceutical research institute." "We start in a week," he said. "By the way, the memory research project still needs volunteers." "Please send me one of the samples," I replied quietly. "I'll be the test subject." After hanging up, I booked a flight to Tajik 7 days later. In 7 days, I would disappear from her world and erase her from my memory forever. When I got home, I quietly began packing my clothes, labeling each box carefully. Even my daily items and personal notes, I organized everything neatly, leaving small reminders behind. Finally, I went to a jewelry store and took off my wedding ring. The staff looked at me politely and asked, "Sir, would you like to exchange it for another style? Should we contact your wife about hers as well?" I shook my head calmly. "No need. Please just discard it for me." 30 minutes later, I walked out of the store holding a small blue velvet box. As soon as I arrived home, I saw Lu Yuan rushing out with a worried expression. She threw her arms around me and said anxiously, "Where did you go? I was so worried about you." I took a small step back and replied gently, "I just went out for a walk." "But your phone was off. I couldn't reach you." I took out my phone and showed her the blank screen. "The battery died." "Then what about those clothes you packed up?" "They're old," I said with a small smile. "I was planning to donate them." Lu Yuan finally relaxed, letting out a soft sigh of relief. Then her eyes caught the jewelry box in my hand, and they lit up. "You bought something new? Is it jewelry?" "Yes," I said, smiling faintly. "It's your birthday gift. Your birthday's next week." "Thank you. Can I open it now?" I shook my head. "Wait until your birthday." 1 week before his 26th birthday, I had already booked a flight for 5 a.m. that morning. By the time she woke up and opened the jewelry box, finding only a melted piece of platinum and a single diamond, I would already be on a plane, leaving everything behind, with my memories erased forever. In the days that followed, Lu Yuan seemed afraid that I might vanish. She canceled all her work and stayed by my side every day. For a brief moment, it felt like we were back to the early days of our love, when we only had eyes for each other. But that fragile peace didn't last long. Messages began to appear on my phone, breaking the silence. They were from Song Ching-he. "You probably saw what happened between me and her. Actually, it started years ago. I never wanted to hide it forever. Thank you for everything, for showing me a different world, and for letting me meet the person who changed my life." He ended the message with a short video. When Liu Yin went out to buy me a drink, I opened it. There was no need to watch it to the end. I understood everything. The truth I had been avoiding was right there, silent but undeniable. I turned off the phone, sat quietly for a long time,
and whispered to myself, "My stomach hurts tonight. I shouldn't drink anything cold." I took the cup of warm water she handed me. It was almost too hot to hold. She gently touched my face, concern in her eyes. "Why are you so pale? Are you feeling unwell?" I avoided her gaze. "I'm fine. I just watched a video that made me a bit sad." She smiled softly and said, "Then next time don't watch anything that makes you sad." I nodded. "I won't." Then she leaned against me, her voice tender and hopeful.
Honey, what if we have a daughter someday? I paused. Do you really want to have a child? She thought for a moment before replying. I actually enjoy our life, just the two of us. But isn't it important for men to have a family to carry on? For a moment, a name almost slipped from my lips. Song Ching-he. I wanted to ask if she still had any connection with him, but when I turned to look at her, the words froze in my throat. There are truths that don't need to be spoken. Silence sometimes hurts more than anger. I turned away quietly, not wanting to argue anymore. She noticed my distant look and asked softly, "You don't want to have a child with me, do you? You don't want to? Are you afraid that if we have a child, I'll love you less?" "Don't worry," she said softly. "No matter what happens, you'll always be the one I love the most." I stayed silent, looking at her, unable to respond. That silence said everything I couldn't put into words. A part of me couldn't stop thinking about that day in the car, and a thought crossed my mind, cold and heavy. Before I could say anything, my phone rang. She glanced at the screen, frowned, and answered irritably. "Didn't I say not to call me these days? I'm with my husband." A few moments later, her tone softened. "All right, I'll be there soon." She hung up and turned to me. "Honey, something urgent came up at work. I need to go." "Work's important," I said quietly. "Go ahead." She smiled, gently touched my face, and hurried out the door. Moments later, my phone buzzed again. A new message. It was from Shang Qinghe. Attached was a photo, a medical report. The message read, "She's expecting my child. I know you probably don't want to hear this, but I wanted to tell you the truth. I'll take care of her and the baby. Please, don't worry about them anymore." I stared at the screen for a long time, feeling as if the world had gone completely silent. 8 months from now, the baby will be born, his message read. She said she'll take me to see the world. I replied with only 4 words, "As you wish." Not long after, Lu Ruyin called. "Honey, there's an urgent business trip. I'll be gone for about 3 days." "Go ahead," I said calmly. Her voice rose slightly, full of hope. "Really? Then I'll be back just in time for my birthday. I want to spend it with you." I forced a faint smile she couldn't see. "We'll see when the time comes." I hung up. None of it mattered anymore. A few moments later, the phone rang again. This time, it was the delivery man. "Sir, your package has arrived. I'm at the front gate." I signed for it quietly. Inside was a small box, a vial from the research project, an instruction sheet in English, and a bundle of old letters and gifts she once gave me. I took the package to the crematorium, and by the next morning, nothing of my old life remained. The day after she left, I went to the bank, exchanged all my money, and changed my name from Xiang Tantianing to Lin Jia. As I walked out into the morning light, a thought crossed my mind. When she comes home and realizes I'm gone, will she search for me again, like she did before? Maybe she no longer cares. Or maybe in her heart, there's only the child and Song Qingwei. My place in her world keeps getting smaller. I stopped myself from thinking further. After all, once I leave, none of this will matter anymore. On the final night, I slept for 12 straight hours. When I woke up, I looked in the mirror and smiled, a bright, peaceful smile.
I packed only one small bag. Inside was my new passport under the name Lin Jia, a visa, and a one-way ticket to Paris. The only thing left that still belonged to Zhang Tangting was the phone in my hand. I used it to call for a car to the airport. After arriving, I removed the SIM card, broke it in half, and tossed the phone into the bin.
From that moment on, everything that tied me to my old life was gone. At the airport, I borrowed a pen and paper and wrote a letter to my new self. Dear Linja, when you read this, your new life has already begun. Don't chase the past, and don't look for the person you used to be. Never believe in promises that love will last forever, because people change. The only one you can truly rely on is yourself, so take care of yourself always. I folded the note carefully and slipped it into my inner pocket, so that when I wake up, it'll be the first thing I see. Then, the announcement echoed through the terminal. Attention passenger, Linja, your flight is ready for departure. Please proceed to gate E18. I smiled. Somewhere out there, she might be on her way home, ready to celebrate my birthday. Not knowing that by then, I would no longer be the same person she once knew. Passenger Linja, please proceed to your boarding gate. Liu Ruyin didn't know why, but at that exact moment, her heart suddenly ached, as if something precious was quietly slipping away. She looked toward the gate, and in the distance, she saw a familiar figure slowly walking away. Someone she once loved. Someone she might never see again.